Hey guys, it's Tia and I am back for a sequel. That's right, a sequel of my last video, which was me talking about the Grand Prix final and the men. So this video, obviously I'm going to be talking about the women. And this is different to how I've structured my videos in the past, but I wanted to do it this way because mainly it gives me more time to talk about my opinions as well as a bit more information in the scoring and, just a bit more researched kind of content. But of course, if I get things wrong, please correct me respectfully in the comments. I'm not perfect. I am doing this channel just for fun. But anyway, this is the Olympic season. I am so excited. So let's talk about it. Now, the first skater out on the ice was Rinka Watanabe, and I feel like she is one of those girls for me who I like and I know of, but she is slightly in the shadows, and I think that is partly because there are so many dominant and incredible Japanese women that I can't possibly love everyone, which is a lie because I do love everyone, but I think this particular short program, it's already growing on me, and I love this song because I am such a musical theatre nerd, so anything that is just related to theatre makes me so excited. And I think as well, it fits her. Like, she's just got a personality where she can do that kind of growly music and the power and I want to say the emotion in it, however I will come back to that note. But basically my point is you've got skaters like Aminaki who are just so sweet and cute, and they've just got that adorable little packaging that the fun or the soft, delicate routines make so much sense. Whereas I think for Rinka, this style really accentuates her strengths. So I love that for her. I love the routine. And one thing that I wasn't expecting was the triple axel. Like, I know that she has the triple axel and has landed the triple axel before, but for some reason I just wasn't processing the fact that, oh yeah, Rinka's going to be doing a triple axel today. So that was awesome to see, even if it wasn't perfect. But the thing that almost ruined it for me is I felt like she was quite stone-faced. It was almost giving, it's giving Sarah Everhart to me, where I want to love her so much, but I need more emotion. And especially in a routine like this, please give me theatrics. So I feel like this routine, especially her PCS scores, would have really benefited from just even a little bit more face, just a little bit more, not seductive, but it's just like the song, it's Roxanne, it needs to tell a story. I'm sure you know what I mean. Anyway, after the short program, she was in 4th place, which I think makes sense in this situation, but anyway, we'll move on to her long program. And in her long program, of the 2 planned triple axels, she landed the first one flawlessly and was even able to put a triple toe loop onto the end. The second triple axel she just hang on to, but regardless, that is still an insane technical booster. I think during this program, she just had such drive and determination behind her eyes, and even though I wish there was a little bit more face, I think this was an incredible program and I'm really happy with how she sold it in the moment. And we have to remember, right, the Japanese field right now is so intense, there's so many incredible skaters, and the Olympic spots are not finalized. So Rinka was skating this competition not only with a shot at the podium, but an Olympic position on the line. So at least technically, I felt like this was a fantastic program. She was ecstatic. She was so happy and relieved while she was skating off the ice. But her scores? Guys, that was a jump scare. They called out her marks and she was the 3rd skater at this point, and they put her in 3rd place. What the heck? Overall, after the free program, she ended up in 6th place. But seriously, even though the second triple axel wasn't perfect, you're talking about 2 triple axels compared to girls who are doing no triple axels or 1 triple axel. So the points, the technical base value had to have been higher to begin with. Whether she got Q calls or under rotations, I'm not 100% sure. But regardless, she's not the only one doing that, be for real. So I'm honestly kind of shook that Rinka ended up in 6th place. I know she was disappointed and probably a bit confused with that mark. Kaori was confused. I know when they called out whoever's marks it was and they zoom in to like Kaori in the current leaders box, her face was just like literally a what the fuck kind of moment until she saw the camera, and then she was just smiley and bubbly and it was really funny and cute. But still, Kaori was thinking what the fuck, I was thinking what the fuck, because what the fuck? I feel sorry for Rinka that this happened to her, even though, again, it's a game of points, it's the game you play, it's a competition. But regardless, I hope she still has a shot at the Olympics, because I do want to see her at the Olympics. Equally as much as I want to see people like Ami and I want to see Mone Chiba, there's just, Japan needs 5 spots. Please, ISU, give Japan 5 spots. Now, the next skater who was just above Rinka after the short program is Ami Naki, who is my little cutie patootie. I was so excited to watch this moment for her, especially watching it live. And I feel like this season we've seen really high highs and also a little bit of mediocre from Ami. So I was nervous watching this, and I also know going into this that she had planned a triple axel and she almost landed it. It was a step out, and honestly, to be able to save it and not fall is applaudable enough in itself. But other than that, her other jumps were absolutely gorgeous, and like Yuma Kageyama, her knee bend is just mwah. Perfection. Come on. Clearly, whatever the coaches and the skaters are learning in Japan about their knee bend, they're doing something right. Other than that, her little dance breaks, I love them so much. I love this. And this is kind of what I was saying before with Rinka. Like, because Ami, you know, she's fresh out of juniors, she's still got that youthful kind of bounciness to her. So all the little dance breaks are just so precious. And her smile after landing all her jumps in the second half of the program, just amazing. It makes me so happy to see. And I think it is really disappointing that she did have the step out, because otherwise she would have scored a lot higher, probably putting her maybe second. I think it's tough at this point because the short programs were quite tight, with everyone scoring kind of within 10 points of each other. Anyway, overall, I'm glad that Ami is putting out a routine that is challenging and a short program that is going for those higher scores. Because remember, this is the Olympic season. This is probably one of the higher pressure competitions that, you know, all these girls are going to do before the Olympics. So to be trying out a difficult layout, trying those Ultra C elements before going into the Olympics, I think it's a great idea. Now, Ami's long program is just simply stunning. I love the dress, I love the music, I love how the routine just flows on the ice. And honestly, I think today was the day of the triple axel, because Ami landed a stunning triple axel, even though she fell on it in the short program. And I'm sure she was so relieved about that fact, because it really set her up well for an incredible skate, an incredible routine. There was a minor stumble, but she did regain herself quickly, and her happy reaction, like the most iconic thing for me, she's like mid Y-frame spin, and you just see her smile start to appear as she knows she just did that. And you just see the genuine smile, because there is such a difference between a forced competition smile and a real smile, and that is what we saw from Ami in this moment. It just warmed my heart. It made me so happy. And look, another thing that I'm just simply obsessed with is Ami is a baby among these group of girls. She's just come up into senior, just beginning her career now. So she is like the polar opposite of Kaori, who's skating her Grand Prix for the last time, ending her career, who has had so much time and so much success, and is almost now passing on the reins to Ami, and of course other of the Japanese girls like Mon, who will now continue the legacy of Japan. So overall, I am so proud and I'm so glad that Ami was able to secure the second place medal. I know that meant so much to her, especially as you see her just break down into tears in the kiss and cry. I'm so happy for Aminaki, and I'm really excited to see what the future holds for her. Now, the next skater is the reigning world champion, Alysa Liu. Now, oh my god, let's just say I got my Spotify Wrapped like 3 days ago, and Promise is my number 1 song. I think I mentioned last year how much I love this song and how much I love Lofe, and I'm not lying. Like, look at my Spotify Wrapped and tell me that is not the most loser lesbian coded thing you've ever seen in your life. But anyway, Alysa, my darling, this was just, okay, this was such a moment. I don't even know where to start. It's one of these programs where we've seen it a lot and you think by now I would be bored of it, but I'm not. There was something about it that was just still so magical, and Alysa Liu is just such a soft and pretty skater, and obviously as a person as well. It just matches her so well, and the delicacy and the way that she can move her body and just feel the music and project herself in a way that is just simply angelic. I am obsessed. The only thing technically is, while she did an incredible routine, it was somewhat of a safe play. And it was, but it wasn't. She did have the triple Lutz triple loop in the second half, so that is literally like the hardest triple combination you could do. So who am I kidding to say that this was a safe play? It was not. I think honestly it's just the fact that so many of these other girls were attempting triple axels that seeing the double axel almost made me think, oh, okay, so you're playing it safe. But I don't know. And either way, what she did was still impressive, and it was a new season best for her in her short program. She scored 75.79, and honestly, I can't pick a single fault in that routine. It was just, as I said, gorgeous, dainty, beautiful, but powerful and precise. So low-key, that was probably one of my top moments out of the short programs. And now, the free program, where do I even start? You can't pick a fault with Alysa at the moment. Everything, all her programs, all her routines have been so stable. Even this outing, you just don't see her fall. She just does it. And she's so relaxed and she's so calm and she's just having fun. And that's something that I try to tell myself, and I try to tell the other skaters around me, how the most important thing is, you just have to enjoy what you're doing. It's not about going out there to win. It's not about getting those spots and being the best and proving yourself. It's about enjoying it. And the passion is what makes you succeed. And Alysa, Alysa is just the prime example of that. She's doing this because she enjoys it. Loki kind of taking the piss out of half the things that we see on the TV. It is hilarious, but I'm obsessed. The fact that she had a flawless short program and a flawless long program, I don't care what some people say, she deserved to win this competition. She deserved it. And honestly, if I talk about the Donna Summers program, unlike Promise, I am starting to get a little bit bored of it. I enjoy it, and she does great at it, and it is very fun and pizzazzy, so she does it well. But I don't know, I want her to keep it because it is a good program, and I don't really like what we saw of the Lady Gaga program, so I don't really want her to go back to that. So I don't know, I am just in a pickle. Okay, hello, this is an abrupt voiceover from future Tia, because my opinion has changed slightly, and that is because of what Alysa did with her gala program. Now, I thought this was so unique and fun, because she went out there with her original Dancing in the Dark program, which is lovely, and then it was almost like a technical failure, or like a staged kind of intervention where the presenter went over the loudspeaker, and I don't know what they said because I can't speak the language. But anyway, I take that as a program reveal. Like, not a program reveal because we know she's working on the Lady Gaga program, blah blah blah, but a showcase or a tasty little treat of some choreography and, the work that she's been doing on that program. And it partly makes me excited to see the Lady Gaga routine, and because I'm just excited to see something different. But anyway, that's just a little side note I wanted to add to this video. I'm gonna go back to the original recording now, so huzzah! Disappearing act! This routine was a party and the whole rink was invited. She got a new season's best of 222.49, which is incredible, and she knows it. She knows that she is that girl, the it girl of America. So I'm obsessed, and I truly am glad that being her first Grand Prix final, she got to take away her first Grand Prix title. Now, the fourth skater to take the ice, and who unfortunately, after the short program, ended up in 6th place, was my guardian angel herself, Amber Glenn. And honestly, I don't even want to talk about this because it just makes me sad thinking about her short program and just the most disappointed, maybe shameful or embarrassed look on her face after she skated. That just truly broke my heart. But yeah, basically watching this live, Amber was the one I was the most stressed for because she is my favorite skater. I idolize her in so many ways. So yeah, I was watching the live stream and oh, actually before before the before she skated, I like ran to my room and just like searched my cupboard because I needed to find my Believe and Breathe t-shirt, my Amber Glenn merchandise. So I went and got that. I had it over my shoulders while I was watching this, hoping and praying, begging that she would have a clean skate. Now, newsflash, she didn't because she popped the triple axel into a single, and I feel like that was so unexpected, especially after watching her warm-up where she nailed the triple axel and genuinely made it look so easy. You know, I watched that and I think, great, we're fine. We don't have to worry about this. It has become her signature move. So for her to miss it, and it's something so big as well. It's not just a triple toe loop or something. As incredible as that is, compared to a triple axel, the points are very different. And I do believe that if she had landed the triple axel, it would have been enough to put her on the podium. But anyway, she recovered and I'm so proud of her for pulling herself together, and she nailed the triple flip, triple toe, her other jump, the triple loop. It was a little tight, but she got there. The choreo didn't give up, serving absolute diva, and yeah. Either way, I still saw Jesus. I still loved the routine. I still think she did incredible. She was beautiful. She was amazing. I love the routine, I love the music, I love Amber, but I am genuinely so disappointed for her, or I just feel empathetic and saddened by the emotions that I know she is going through. This is what makes figure skating difficult when you're an empath. I just feel everything too deeply. But anyway, with the performance that Amber gave in her short program, she scored 66. Mone Chiba, who we'll talk about in a second, but she was in first place after the short program with a score of 77. So there's about a 10-11 point difference, which isn't huge. Like, it's a gap that could be closed, but it's also so difficult to not give up at that point. Like, you know, I feel like being in that position where you're in 6th place, you're last, I'm not gonna win, I can't make it from here. Like, you have to be so in it, in the mental, to hold yourself together and give a performance. And, you know, she's gonna win. She's gonna win. I'm manifesting. She's gonna go from 6th to 1st. It's gonna be incredible. It's gonna make history. Kaori's gonna be behind her in 2nd. It's just what's gonna happen, guys. But right, guys, hear me out. I'm going to come back to this audio tomorrow and I'm going to be talking about Amber's free program and how she landed both of her triple axels and all of her combinations and just performed her little heart out, and she's going to win, okay? Alright, hey guys, it's Future Tia here, and honestly, I wasn't too far off. I think I was dreaming a little big, thinking that she would put 2 triple axels in the free program. Low-key, she probably could. I don't know if that's something she's experimented with or tried, but I feel like it is definitely a possibility moving forwards. But yeah, anyway, it was a clean skate, guys. It was a clean skate. Can I say that I did this? Can I say my manifestation helped? Oh my god. Going into this program, Amber looked so focused, and I think that was just, in a way, trying to hide the stress and the pressure she probably felt internally. It was mentioned in an interview that she was struggling to breathe during the 6-minute warm-up, and that was a really stressful feeling for her. So I imagine going into this free skate, there's probably a lot of things, and maybe even a lot of doubt going through her mind. So in that moment, the most important thing for Amber was to just step back and rely on her training and trust herself as she is, because Amber, the woman that you are, is incredible. Now, once again, I had my Believe and Breathe t-shirt snuggled into my chest. I was hugging that thing so hard, and I was just praying that Amber would trust herself and to keep stable and to hold it together. And she did, okay? She did. The triple axel in the beginning, perfection, amazing. This is what we needed. This is what I know she needed. And just from there, every jump, one by one, she got through it. The relief just slowly started to come out on her face, because I know this is the skate Amber needed. And not just to get to the podium, but the skate that she needed to trust herself, to trust her training, and to trust in her strength. Of course, I mentioned the short program and that it is disappointing that it didn't go to plan. She lost a lot of points on her triple axel. So I think coming off the ice in the free skate, especially if I think about this personally, if I knew I just did the best skate almost I've ever done, just such an incredible program, and knowing that because of the faults the day before that it wouldn't be enough, that is just soul crushing. And again, I know she won't see this, but I am just praying that she knows how incredible she is and how important it is for her to just be herself. And these moments, those faults in the past, it will come together. Because we know what she's capable of. We know what she can do. This was a season's best. This was 144.65, an incredible new score for Amber, and it can only get better from here. Anyway, I need to get back on track. Need to talk about skating and the other skaters. And I will. Guys, I'm planning to do a video just on Amber and probably a video just on Ilya, because they're two people that I can't freaking shut my mouth about, and I want to do like an entire deep dive into all their old programs and all their lore. So that will be coming. Let me know if you want to see that. If you don't want to see it, unfollow me, because sorry, I can't not talk about Amber and Ilya. I love them so much. Okay. We're gonna move on to Kaori Sakamoto. And I wish I could say Amber's short program was the last sad moment, but there's another one, because Kaori Sakamoto's short program didn't go exactly to plan. She was 5th place after her short program, and Kaori is just such a light in the figure skating world, and she's such a light in my life. I love watching her, and I love this routine so much. I could talk about it forever, but because I talked about this particular routine a lot in my last video, I'm not going to go into it too much. But just know that I love it, and especially things like her double axel and the knee bend, the layback entry into it, incredible. However, yeah, her short program had a pop at the start. It didn't throw her off, but it was enough to push her marks down. And, you know, the same thing, like getting the marks for a double is not the same as the marks for a triple. So even with that, it was enough to put her above Amber Glenn, but not those who had a clean skate, or, you know, Rinka and Aminaki, who had the triple axel even if it wasn't clean. Now, one of the biggest things for me in this routine was the pure emotion that was coming through the screen. Because this is her last Grand Prix ever. Her last Grand Prix final. So I know in my heart how badly she would have wanted this to be a good skate. So I can understand if there was a sense of disappointment or a sense of frustration after she skated. We did see a bit of an emotional breakdown, as much as you could tell she was trying to keep it in. And I want to think that it could have just been the emotions of, this is the last time I do this in a Grand Prix stage or a Grand Prix final. So I don't know, but either way, it just shattered me. And to see her score 69.40, which isn't that high of a score for Kaori, I felt worried going into the long program, because I really wanted her to just have a good skate that she could be proud of, and to just leave this memory as one of those little joy yellow balls in her little inside out memory brain. And honestly, part of me wants to not worry, because Kaori seems to do this a lot, where she has mistakes or she has pops in her short program, but then just comes out with the most strongest, powerful, fightful long program. So especially in this moment, that kind of strength is all I was wishing for Kaori. Now, this long program I love so much. This music means a lot to me personally, and I think that just really helps me connect to the routine even more than I know I would in general. Anyway, her opening axel and triple flip just helped me relax even just a little bit. This is the Kaori that we know. She was in command of the ice. She was in charge. And I'm just so proud. This is what I needed. This is what she needed. This is what the world needed. The healing moment of seeing Kaori succeed and seeing Kaori be so proud of herself in her final Grand Prix final. The final Grand Prix stage, the final Grand Prix moment, the final Grand Prix program, the final season, guys, the final everything. I can't. I'm gonna miss her so much, and this hole in my heart when she leaves is never gonna fill. It's like Yurzu Hanzu. That wound is still wide open, gaping blood everywhere. Now, for Kaori, she did make it into third place, so she did get on the podium. This wasn't a season best for Kaori. Obviously, we know she can do so much better. And look, there was a popped jump, and honestly, I kind of feel like, in a way, it's just so Kaori, and it's almost like that needed to happen is a full circle moment in it wouldn't be Kaori if she didn't pop a jump and then somehow whip out the most perfect combination you've ever seen afterwards. It's just, it is such a Kaori kind of save, and it just makes me reminisce on all of the things she's done in the past and all the skates she's had and all the times this has happened. It's just bittersweet. It really is bittersweet. Watching her skate off the ice, and there's just so many waves of thank you and waves of goodbye. This might be the last time a lot of those audience members see Kaori skate in person, but, you know, even though this sun is setting, the beauty of her sunset will shine forever. Now, moving on, hypothetically, because I won't actually ever really move on from Kaori, we'll talk about Mone Chiba, who is one of those Japanese girls who will be taking the baton from Kaori. Now, Mone Chiba is an incredible skater, and I especially got into her last season, which I believe was her first senior season, but she's definitely a skater who has really grown on me, and I really want to see her succeed. So for her to be in first place after the short program, after skating what was just, it just felt like light after all this darkness, just to see her go out and nail every single element with that classic Japanese beautiful knee bend and extension and edges was just something I really needed to go to bed peacefully after watching this. So I'm so glad for Mone Chiba, just because she deserves it. She is someone who you can tell she puts her heart into every step she takes. And again, kind of like Aminaki, she is just so smiley and sweet. And I think this kind of bouncy fun routine, I think that fits her perfectly. She was just giving me everything that I needed to be given. So yeah, incredible routine. She was absolutely ecstatic. She was so happy with how she skated after the short program, which she got a new season's best, scoring 77.27. And I think as well, this must have been a meaningful moment to her because she looked so nervous and she looked terrified in the warm-up, and before she skated, she just looked like she almost wasn't there, but she really went out there and hopefully proved herself wrong and took that confidence to just sit back and trust in your training and the abilities that you have. I'm glad Mon got to have that experience because she is one of the top contenders for an Olympic gold medal, or at least the podium. I think this competition especially is a really good insight into what might happen at the Olympics, but you can never know. Oh, why is being a figure skating fan so stressful? Now, I think going into the free skate, obviously Mon was in first place after the short, so she was the final skater of the free skate. And kind of like what we saw the other night, she looked really stressed and she looked quite reserved even when they called her name out. And I get that because especially at competitions, I'm someone who is very much in my own world. I'm in my own head. I don't really talk to people and I don't really show much emotion until after I skate. So I can understand that sense of focus. And honestly, it's incredible how, like a switch or like a robot, the second the music starts, she locks in. She switches on and the show has started. Now, I wish that I could say it was the last time, but it became a pastime. It was not a clean skate. I'm just going to rip the band-aid off. Mon did have quite a painful looking fall around the middle of the program, and that was followed by another one. So at that point, there's been a lot of clean skates and there's been a lot of really strong performances. So that alone could be enough to knock her off the podium. And unfortunately, that is what we saw. Having Mon drop from first place after the short to fifth place after the long program. She only scored 132, which was the lowest free skate score, but of course her short program marks made it so that she at least got fifth place. Now, this long program I do love. I think it is such an emotional, pretty piece, and even though she is still quite new and still quite fresh, she skates this program in a way that has such grace and maturity, and I think especially when she's got that fire under her. This is such a moment, and this is such an incredible creation that has the potential to take her to insane heights. I know her heart was broken, and even when her scores were announced, her keeping her composure, and likewise the camera cut into Alysa Liu, and she knew in that moment not to celebrate so hard and to show that sportsmanship and that respect for Mon, who just had her dreams crumble before her eyes. I think that in itself is admirable, and I really respect the women in this sport right now. And to end this video, I do want to do just a general summary, a little bit about everything. And this is just one of those moments where you realize that these are all such sweet, respectful people and individuals who care about each other. And I think that is so important, especially when figure skating and dancing and cheerleading and a lot of those more feminine presentation kind of sports, they have an expectation of toxicity. And we are used to seeing some interesting reactions and complications, controversies. There's a lot of that in any sport, but particularly figure skating. So I am genuinely so proud of the sportsmanship that we are seeing on the big screen at the moment. Now, another one of my major comments about the Grand Prix final as a whole is just the fact that any of these girls could have podiumed, and anyone that I talk to and anyone in previous comments where I've talked about these skaters, it is just so hard for me to predict anything, or for me to have favorites, or for me to say I want one girl to win over another girl, because I just genuinely love them all so much, and they are all so deserving and capable of success. It just so happened to be, in this situation, we had Alysa Liu in first, Aminaki, who rose to the occasion and took second, and Kaori Sakamoto in third. This is a podium that I am very happy about, and I think I would have been happy however it went, because there were just so many people who deserved to be up there. But yeah, particularly Alysa Liu taking first place and just being so chill and so cool and showing that sport doesn't have to be so serious. Like, girl, did you forget that you are a world champion on a live TV? She's just such a character. I love her for that, and I think it is a really good message having her portraying that to everyone who's watching this. Similarly, having Kaori Sakamoto on the podium and Amber Glenn obviously being so close behind her. Those are two older women, veterans, experienced people who also show that you can be successful as an adult. You don't have to be an anorexic 15-year-old to be successful, and that is so important, incredibly important. So overall, I'm content with this competition. There's definitely moments of highs, moments of lows, but I think altogether there is just such an incredible image of this sport that is being showed by these 6 girls, and I'm so excited to see them all, hopefully all of them, even though I know it can't be all the Japanese girls, but I'm so excited to see everyone at the Olympics, at the country nationals. The season's not over, it's just getting exciting now. You will be hearing more from me as this all goes down, but until then, I love you all. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy these videos, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye!